Hi everyone, I am Jessica and I'm going to lead you through a yoga practice today that is designed for runners. So we are going to focus on lengthening hamstrings and releasing lower back and hips. So even if you are not a runner, this can still be a very chill practice. It can also be helpful, say, if you've had a long day at the office and you've just been stuck at a desk or at a board table or anything like that, where you've just been pretty immobile for a long time, this can also be a nice practice because again, we're going to unwind lower back, hips, and get into those hamstrings. So this practice can be helpful for a lot of different reasons. Before we get started, highly recommend that you have a strap, and if you don't have a yoga strap, that's okay. You could even just use a towel or a belt or a scarf or anything that functions like a strap. And then if you have two blocks, that's helpful, but not necessary. So I'll leave that up to you. Okay, so if you need to pause this and go grab a couple of props for this, go ahead and do that and then join when you're ready. If you have your strap, let's go ahead and roll on down to our backs with our strap, okay? I have Finley here with me. He wants to join. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask him to move off of the mat. Sweetheart, can you come over here? And then you're going to roll on down, have your strap, and what you'll do is you'll have a bend in the knees. Buddy, can you go over here? Okay, thank you, sweetie. Take your strap, and you're going to catch the right foot with your strap. And this might be a little hard to show when I'm videoing this, but you're going to loop your heel with the strap so that both ends of the strap end up coming through the inner ankle. And that's just going to give you a little bit of leverage. When you reach up through the inner heel, you're going to push directly into that strap, okay? So my right leg is extended up to the ceiling, and I'm reaching energetically through the heel. My leg is a little engaged, so I'm not just having a passive leg and then just tugging on it with the strap. There's some resistance between the strap and then my heel pushing up into the strap, okay? There can still be a bend in your right knee, so if you're really tight in the hamstrings, you might need to keep it a little bent, and that's fine. As far as your left leg is concerned, you can keep a left foot on the floor with that left knee bent, or if it feels okay, you could extend that leg. I'll let you decide what feels more easeful, okay? So when we do this kind of stretch with the strap, you could pause this video and linger here for as long as you want, okay? If you feel pretty good about that, I'm going to lead you to the next station that we're going to try with our strap. You're going to put your left hand on your left hip. Both ends of your strap are in your right hand. And then you're going to open the right foot out to the right, not very far, okay? So you're not going to go more than 45 degrees, but you might not even go that far. And again, there's some resistance between the foot pressing into the strap and then the strap pulling back, okay? So now we're not just lengthening the hamstrings, but we're also getting into those adductors, those inner thighs, okay? Again, you can linger here for as long as you want, or one more station we're going to try here. Put the strap in your left hand to right hip. You're going to let the leg come across the torso for a little bit of a twist here. But again, not going more than 45 degrees. Once you feel that right hip coming off of the mat, go ahead and come out of it a little bit. So now we're stretching that outer hip, might even be touching a little bit of the IT band here. And again, there's some resistance between the strap and the foot pressing into the strap. One more inhale. And then bring that leg straight up, put a bend in your right knee, release the strap, let both feet be flat on the mat, and then just notice you'll probably feel a big difference between right side of pelvis, left side of pelvis, and of course difference between right leg and left leg, because that was 3 poses that we did just on one side, okay? So let's go ahead and even that out. So you'll lasso the left heel, and getting the strap situated, that's the hardest part about using it. But once you got it, you've got it. So again, the strap is just coming around the heel. And then both ends of the strap come through that inner ankle. Right knee could stay bent, or you can see about extending that leg long. But again, if that's too much for the front of the right hip, then you can always keep that knee bent, okay? So create that resistance of reaching up through the inner heel. So you're pressing into that strap, and then there's a gentle tug with the strap. So there's that resistance we're creating. And that's just helping us find a little bit of gentle engagement here so that we're not just tugging on passive muscles here. So we'll stay here for a couple more breaths, keeping in mind that as we go through these poses on the left side, they might be feeling different compared to the first side. That's okay. None of us are perfectly symmetrical, so we can work with that. About another cycle of breath. And then you'll put both ends of the strap in your left hand to right hip. Gently open the leg out to the side, no more than 45 degrees. Keep the right hip down. Reach through the heel. And again, now we're not just lengthening hamstrings, we're also getting into that inner thigh area, those adductors. Good. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, switch it out. Strap will go in the right hand to left hip. Now we'll create that twist going across the body. You'll feel it in outer hip area. Again, maybe even IT band area. Keeping that resistance of the strap, pulling back and reaching through the heel. Again, you can linger here as long as you want. When you're ready, inhale, come back up. Exhale, both feet down, both knees bent. You can set the strap off to the side and then draw both knees into the chest. Give them a little squeeze, maybe take some circles on the sacrum. Good. Keep your right knee hugging in. Send your left leg long down the mat, or let the left knee be bent if that feels better on the front of that left hip, okay? Hands can interlace on the right shin as you gently hug the knee into the chest. Big inhale. And exhale. Inhale, switch it out. So left knee will come in, right leg will extend long down the mat, or perhaps you keep a bend in your right knee, hugging left knee in. You can relax the sides of the neck and the tops of the shoulders. Big inhale. And exhale. Inhale, both knees into the chest. And then however you would like, you can rock and roll or you can use your hands. We'll make our way to table posture, hands and knees. So we'll find our wrists under the shoulders and our knees under the hips. Let's roll through a couple of cat-cows, just moving through the spine. Inhale, arch the spine, look up. And on your exhale, press the mat away, round, curling the spine upward and pulling navel towards spine. Inhale, arch the spine, maybe look up. And exhale, press and round, really dome the upper back. Let's do one more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale to a neutral spine. Moving on, take your right leg straight back on the mat. Toes will be on the mat. I want you to feel for that nice stretch down the calf and Achilles tendon. If it feels good to add a little bit of a rock, you might just rock back and forth, finding more length, reaching through inner heel. Hi, Tucker. Tucker is interested to see what's going on here. Hi, buddy. Hi. You want to do some yoga? Yeah. Okay. Good. Go ahead and pause your rock. Float the right foot. And then cross over your opposite ankle. Toes are on the floor or on your mat. Reach through the heel and then look over your left shoulder. So we're adding a nice side stretch here. Still getting that calf stretch, but now you've got that side stretch going down the right side of the torso, outer right hip. Maybe even a little bit of IT band. Good. Inhale the gaze forward and exhale right knee down. Let's roll through a cat-cow. Inhale, arch the spine and exhale, scoop and round. One more, inhale and exhale. Inhale to a neutral spine, left foot straight back, toes are tucked, reach through the heel. And if that rocking sensation felt good, we'll do that a few times. Nice stretch down calf and Achilles tendon. Maybe one more set of our rocks here. And then we'll pause, float the leg, cross over the opposite ankle. Your foot will probably land off of the mat. Reach through the heel. This time we look through the right or over the right shoulder, creating a nice long stretch down the left side of the body, reaching energetically really long. Good. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, left knee back under the left hip. Inhale, arch the spine, and exhale, scoop and round. Inhale, arch the spine. This time on your exhale, tuck the toes, float the hips up and back for downward facing dog. So if you're really tight in the hamstrings, perhaps taking the feet even wider than hip width. You can also keep a bend in your knees here, but for a moment, let's just bend one knee at a time while you let the opposite heel melt down. Press the hands actively away so the hips go up and back. Finding nice length as you pedal through the feet. You'll even find some side stretch there. Good. And then as you're ready, inhale, walk your hands back to your feet. You'll find a forward fold at the back of the mat. Generous bend in the knees. Again, you can take the feet as wide as you'd like. Head hangs heavily. Maybe grasping opposite elbows and just letting the head hang heavily. Good. Make sure your second toe points directly ahead. Feet can be hip width, they can be together, they can be even wider than hips if that feels better. Inhale, half lift, hands slide up the shins. And exhale, fold and release. Do that one more time. Inhale, half lift, pause. Exhale, hands to hip points. Use your inhale to rise all the way up. And then exhale, release the hands, mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, right hand down, so only your left arm is reaching straight up. Inhale, get a little bit taller, really lengthen through the left side of the rib cage. And then on your exhale, reach over. Right hand to right hip, big, big side reach. Good. Inhale, arms through center. Exhale, left hand floats down. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Get super long on the right side of the torso. And then exhale, reach it over. Left hand to left hip. Maybe reach a little bit more. Good job. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, hands to heart. God, take a big wide step out. So going wider than the hips now. Turn the toes out, knees in. Sink the hips down any amount. Draw your hands to the tops of the thighs. Let your shoulders ride up. Inhale just like that. And then on your exhale, melt the left shoulder down, look to the right. So we'll just make this really fluid. Inhale, come through center. And exhale, melt the other way. Inhale, center. Exhale, melt the left shoulder down. Good. Inhale through center. Exhale, melt the right shoulder down. Good. Inhale through center. Maybe draw hands to heart. And then on your exhale, straighten the knees. Turn all 10 toes to the long edge of the mat. So now the feet are parallel with one another. Inhale, reach the arms wide. And exhale, hinge and fold. So taking this wide leg forward folds,
You might want to walk the feet out a little bit wider, or maybe keep a bend in your knees. Let the head hang heavily. Inhale to fingertips. On your exhale, walk the hands off of the mat, tent the fingers, let the hips go up and back. So this is like a wide leg down dog. The heels might melt down to the mat more easily in this stance. Good. Inhale, walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. And then slowly, just at your own pace, you're going to start to just glide from side to side. So in yoga, we call this pose, when we glide over, this is Skandasana. Sometimes you hear it called runner's lunge. So either way, you just kind of glide from side to side. The hips don't have to come all the way down. They could, but they don't have to, okay? And the hands can continue to support here as you just find some fluid movement. Easing into the hips a bit, but also getting into those inner thighs. Really good. Maybe one more glide from side to side. Nice. And then pausing, parallel the feet. Take that fold again. Good. Inhale to fingertips. Exhale, pivot to the top of your mat. Frame your right foot. Now you're in a little lunge. Let your back knee come down. Good. This is where your blocks might be helpful. So if you have blocks and you want to frame your right foot, it just brings the floor up to you. We will shift the hips back, wiggle your right foot forward a little bit, and straighten your front knee any amount. Again, hands can be on the blocks or on the floor. Flex the right toes towards your face and then lengthen the spine forward. So this is a half splits. And when we come into this pose, you can hold it statically, or if it feels better to glide in and out of it, you just bend your knee and then shift the hips back and straighten the knee, okay? So you can decide what feels best to your body here, either holding the pose or finding some fluid, conscious movement. Yeah, good. If you found that movement, the next time your front knee is bent, pause. Let your left hand stay down, right arm comes up for a twist. Your left hand could be on a block here. You could also tuck the back toes and float that left thigh off the mat if you'd like. Turning the chest open. One more inhale. Exhale, float the right hand down. We'll pivot to the long edge of the mat again. So we've been through this wide leg forward fold before. We're just using it as a transition. Inhale to fingertips. Exhale, pivot to the back of the mat now. Hands frame your front foot. Back knee comes down. If you need those blocks, make sure they're with you. Again, the blocks just bring the floor up to you. And then we'll shift the hips back, straighten the front leg. Half splits. In yoga, we call this Ardha Hanumanasana. So again, you decide. You can keep this static. The left toes point towards your face. You dig the left heel down and isometrically drag it toward you. You either stay there or you inhale to that lunge, bending the front knee, and exhale, you float back. So if you do find that dynamic movement, remember we're always pairing the breath with the movement. That keeps us present, keeps the movement conscious and deliberate. Smooth, steady inhales and exhales. The next time you find yourself with a bent knee, pause. Your decision whether you want to use blocks or not. Right hand anchors down. Inhale, left arm up for your twist. And then you decide whether you want to tuck those back toes or not. One isn't better than the other. One isn't more advanced than the other. It's just what feels best to you right now. One more inhale. Exhale, left hand down. Set the blocks off to the side and then widen the legs, take that fold again. Inhale to fingertips. Exhale, pivot to the top of the mat, handspring your right foot, back knee comes down. Okay, so we're gonna build on this lunge. Anytime we have this back knee down, if that doesn't feel comfortable on the kneecap, you can pad the knee by flipping the mat or just putting a towel underneath that, okay? We're gonna come on up to our low lunge this time. And what I want us to do is make sure that our torso is fairly upright. We don't want to be kind of hinging forward, getting really heavy and low here. So we're going to be really upright. Right knee is right over right ankle, and we're hugging the lower belly in. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Inhale, left arm straight up. And exhale, go over for a big side reach. So when we do this really engaged upright side stretch in our low lunge, we're stretching some hip flexors on the left side, and there's a chance with this kind of side reach in this upright lunge that we might even be able to access the psoas, which is a really, really deep hip flexor and core muscle, okay? Good job. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, hands down. We're gonna pivot through that wide leg forward fold again. Take that fold, exhale. Inhale, fingertips. Exhale, pivot to the back of the mat. Back knee releases down. Again, if you need to pad that back knee, go ahead. We don't want any discomfort in that knee as we set it down. Inhale, come on up. And if you need to move that left foot back a little bit so that the ankle is right under the knee, go ahead and do that. Hug the lower belly in, spine is nice and long. Left hand to left hip. Inhale, reach the right arm straight up. And exhale, reach it over. So keep thinking, lift the lower core, spine lengthens, reaching up and over. Back toes can be tucked or untucked, you decide. So again, this time we are accessing hip flexors on the right side. Good job, y'all. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, hands down. Let's step back to downward facing dog this time. So take a moment to feel the hands, feel the feet. Big inhale. And exhale. Inhale, flow forward to plank pose. Exhale, release all the way down. Untuck the toes. Press the tops of the feet and the pubic bone down. Inhale, lift the head and the heart for cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Exhale, let it go. Take your hands wide off the mat. Now tent the fingers. It's like you have cupcakes underneath your hands. Press the tops of the feet down. Inhale, lift the head, the heart, the chest for a big wide cobra. And exhale, melt it down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, hands under shoulders. Exhale, table posture, and then child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide. Forehead comes down to the mat, arms reach over head. Take a big breath in and out. Good. Inhale, peel yourself up. We'll come to sit. Any comfortable seat will do here. I'm sitting in Thunderbolt just on my heels, but you could be in any seat on a block or not, okay? Inhale, float the arms. Exhale, gentle twist to the right. Spine is nice and long, chin is parallel with the earth. Good, inhale, float through center. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, hands to heart. One last pose. Find your feet right in front of you. Soles of feet together, knees open out wide. This is cobbler's pose. In yoga, we call it Baddha Konasana or bound ankle pose. Sometimes you might hear it called butterfly.
So it's just a nice hip opener and inner thigh opener, and we can gently just let the knees open out wide. No need to press them down, okay? What you can do is hands can be on ankles or shins. Actively press the feet together and send the knees wide out. You can stay like that, or maybe a little fold, okay? And if it feels more comfortable to take the feet a little bit further away from the body, you can do that too. Good. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, close those knees together, any comfortable seat. So that will conclude our poses for this practice. If you want to revisit that stretch that we began with when we were on our back, it's never a bad idea to just have those 3 poses that we did with the strap earlier. Have that in your back pocket. It's a really nice way to loosen up hips, hamstrings, and lower back. And you can always do that at the end of a practice as well. I hope that you found this helpful. If you have any feedback or questions for me, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you for practicing. Namaste.